We're watching now an administration, and there have been administrations before this administration, but we're watching kind of the exclamation point on the end of the sentence, I say. We're watching this fundamental, the foundational fundamental agenda here is to take the guns, to control the guns down to a point that then the population can be brought into whatever submission somebody wants it brought into. You know, and I point out in my book the historical background to this. Every nation that has eventually and finally either enslaved its people or Nazi Germany, it just eliminated and exterminated whole sections of the undesirable population. They began, watch this, they didn't begin with gun control. They began with a marginalization of that population, lampooning, lambasting, making fun of. Of course, back then they didn't have Hollywood and media and movies and video games and television shows and cable TV and programming and documentaries.
Public education.
Public education, government education, let's call it that, government re-education camps. They didn't have all of that, but they did begin to institute those things. And so I use Nazi Germany as one example because that's still kind of so fresh in our historical minds, but there are many other examples and I document them in my book. So watch. This is what Christians in America are concerned about, Michael. Most Christians in America would not define themselves as being heavily persecuted every day, not when we consider what's happening in the Middle East, China, North Korea, Sudan. But what we're watching is this downward degradation of our culture that's aimed at Christianity, taking away the First Amendment rights of all citizens. And so, and Christianity stands in the way of that. The fundamental foundation of our nation, First Amendment, Second Amendment, stands in the way of all of that. And so what is happening is this agenda.